Be a life changer. This is going to be a very, very exciting presentation. Let's start off with the bad news. How much do you earn? In the United States, the average income is $40,000, except, of course, if you live in Mississippi, then it's $31,000. And in Canada, it's $49,000. Now, you might think that Canadians earn more than Americans, but Canadians earn money in Canadian loonies, Canadian pesos, so it hardly matters. 49,000 Canadian is about the same as 40,000 US. And it's terrible. I don't care if you earn less than 40,000. I'm not making fun of you. I'm just saying it's way less. Why would you waste an entire year of your life for $40,000? Why on earth would you do that? And the answer is because you're not branded and you don't know how to do any better. You're worth way more, but you don't know how to do it. People who earn more than you work less than you. You think you have to work harder. People take on second jobs to earn more, like they drive Uber and they're still broke. Taking on a second job does not work. Branding works. And I'm going to teach you that now. Are you ready for a huge change? Yes, good. You want to be in the top 1%? Yes. It's $300,000 a year to be in the top 1%. Now you might say, oh my God, that's so high, I'll never get there. And I look down on it and I say, how can they go to work for an entire year and keep their income under $300,000? How the heck do you do that? Now, I used to know how to do that, and I'm going to tell you with my own life experience. I was born right here in Toronto. I've lived in Toronto all my life. I'm going to use me as an example. I'm going to tell you exactly what the first 39 years of my life was. Terrible. I'm going to tell you the one thing I changed. How many? One. Can you just pretend you're excited? How many things did I change? One. I changed one thing, and then I'm going to tell you how wonderful my life is now. You can believe it or not, but that's the truth. And if I changed 5 things, you wouldn't know which one worked. But I only changed one thing. One thing. And my life is spectacularly different. So are you excited about that? Yes. Yes, wait till you see it. And you might say, okay, Raymond, Mr. Big Shot, how much do you earn? And I won't tell you, but I'll tell you the best I ever did. I earned $1 million in one speech. Wow. Wow, yeah, one person got it. I'm going to try it again. I earned $1 million in one speech. Wow. Wow, thank you. I'm going to repeat anything you don't say wow to. So the speech will get very long if you're quiet. And if you're not branded, life will seem unfair. So you might as well get branded. Everyone who's branded makes a lot of money effortlessly. People who aren't branded struggle for low-hanging fruit. Wonder why clients are so fickle. You can change your life anytime you wish. But you must first climb the 4-rung ladder of wealth. How many rungs? 4. The first one is visibility. Everybody who's wealthier than you is more visible than you. The next rung is credibility. Everybody who is wealthier than you is more credible than you. And here's the good news. Once you have visibility and credibility, you cannot stop the wealth from coming in. When you have visibility and credibility, you cannot stop the wealth from coming in. How many rungs did I promise you? 4. How many did I deliver? 3. If I don't come up with another rung quickly, my brand is in deep jeopardy. And indeed, there is another one, but it's in the dark side. It's in the wrong direction. It's invisibility. What's invisibility? Somebody loses their job. They do 2 things. They update their resume. I want you to fill in the last word of this sentence. And then they send the resume to total strangers. That proves you're invisible. Only invisible people know that word. Only invisible people do that. When you admit that you know that word, you're admitting that you earn way, way less than you deserve. Because if I lost my job, I'm an entrepreneur, so I can't lose my job. But if the Prime Minister said, Raymond, you're not allowed to be an entrepreneur, then I would call up a friend. I would call up Jack Canfield and say, look, I earn, $5-10 million a year. So just hire me at $1 million a year, and you can keep everything else. And I'll get back on my feet again, and then I'll work for you for a year, and that'll be it. He'd say, yeah, come on over. That's it. Wealthy people don't have resumes. If you bump into Meryl Streep on the street, don't ask her for her resume. Sir Richard Branson doesn't have a resume. Warren Buffett, Donald Trump, they don't have resumes. Branded people don't have resumes. Unbranded people have resumes as a failed attempt to try to differentiate themselves. And yet everybody's resume sounds exactly the same. So it's a failed attempt because they're trying to get branded, but actually they're in the sea of sameness. So, visibility. 97% of Canadians and Americans and Europeans and Aussies and Kiwis and Asians, 97% of the developed world is completely invisible. Where do you earn more money, at the top or bottom? Top, good. 3 people got it. Let's try it again. Where do you earn more money, top or bottom? Top, good. Remember I said I'll get you rich, but you have to entertain me? Yeah. Haven't felt the love lately. So I will get you rich, but you have to entertain me. I ask questions, you answer them. Wow? Okay, good. Where do you earn more money, top or bottom? Top, good. Where do you want to be? Top, good. But you typically have to take one step at a time. However, I've developed the world's only 2-step. And it starts from invisibility, which is lucky because that's where you are. And it gobbles up visibility and credibility all at once. Why? Because it's the 2-step. But you also know that if you have visibility and credibility, you can't stop the wealth from coming in. And so my 2-step takes you from invisibility all the way up to wealth in one step. It's the little-known way to make way, way, way more money effortlessly. It's the most brilliant idea I've ever come up with in my life. You must have your own book. You must have your own book. Otherwise, don't even pretend that you want to get out of debt. Don't even pretend that you want to earn a lot of money. Don't even pretend. If you don't want to write a book, don't even pretend that you want to make a lot of money. Period. Every single person you know who's wealthy has a book. Every single broke person you know does not have a book. Figure it out. I asked my dear friend Dr. John Gray, he wrote Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, Kids Are From Hell. I said, if you could change one thing in your glorious career, what would it be? He said, I'd rather have a book than a PhD. Wow. And I said, why? He said, call up a radio station and say, I have a PhD, do you want to interview me? No. But call up a radio station and say, I wrote the book on men-women relationships. Oh my gosh, come on my show. I wrote the book on Pilates. I wrote the book on sex. I wrote the book on dental hygiene. I wrote the book on yoga. I wrote the book on stretching. I wrote the book on chiropractics. Whatever your shtick is, whatever you want to write your book on, I will help you make sure that you write the right book that will make a lot of money. Whatever you write a book on, it's just the fact that you have a book that will get you on social media, get you on other people's podcasts, get people to stand up and listen to you. That's what happens when you have a book of any title. Wow. Having a book means you can indeed aim higher. Money will come to you. Opportunities will come to you. Income, media appearances, patients, clients, joy, money of all kinds will come to you when you, whoa, that was a little too much. That's a funny you. But now I'm going to do what I promised. I'm going to tell you my life before a book, and then I'm going to tell you how many things did I change? One. And then I'm going to tell you my life after a book. If only one thing changed, then that's the reason for the change. Do you get that? Yes. Okay, here's my life before a book. When I was born, I was broke. Maybe some of you have had that same experience. And then I took a job I didn't particularly like, and so I took it out on a substance. And my substance of abuse was food. I got very, very fat. And when my boss realized that I wasn't doing a good job because I didn't like it and had no energy, he fired me. So I came home and told my wife I was fired. She did the only thing a reasonable woman could do. She dumped me out of our marriage. And I learned something that day. I learned that getting fired and divorced on exactly the same day are just extreme forms of market research. And what the marketplace was telling me is I was doing everything wrong. Nutritionally, fat. Vocationally, fired. Matrimonially, dumped. And I haven't told you the bad news yet. The bad news is I was depressed. I was a 39-year-old life loser, $100,000 in debt. Wow. A 39-year-old life loser, $100,000 in debt. And I want you to know something. I'm a really smart guy. I graduated from the University of Toronto in physics as one of the youngest graduates in the entire 200-year-old history of the physics department at the University of Toronto. Wow. I graduated 8th out of 400 math geniuses in my class. My math knowledge is so senior that I've been registered as a genius in mathematics, and my IQ is so high, I've been admitted to Mensa, the top 2% of IQ in the entire world. Okay? And thank you. And with all that brain power, I produced a life of shit. Nothing. I mean, fat, dumped. This is not a good life. Now, I understand you're not that sympathetic because you see me all branded, all these, a friend, Jack Canfield. I mean, you see all this stuff, so you say, well, it turned out good, so I'm not going to feel that sad for the guy. But at age 39, I didn't know it would turn out good. At age 39, I was really depressed. Everything had gone south from age 19 when I graduated to age 39 for 20 straight years. Failure after failure after failure after failure after failure. My mother had already given up on me. Now, mothers have one job on this planet. Love your kid. If your kid's an axe murderer, figure it out, how to love your kid. And my mother had given up 20 years of failure. I started businesses, they failed. I got hired in jobs and they fired me. Like everything. I just was a failure. It was very, very sad for me. So the turning point of my life came when I changed how many things?
One thing.
One. So I noticed that every rich person had a book. And all the people who struggled don't have a book. I listed my neighbors, friends, relatives. And then I noticed no book, 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 no book. And then I didn't know any rich people, but I just listed people I'd heard of. So Richard Branson, Warren Buffett, Steve Jobs, just people I'd heard of. Book, 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 book. No book, 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 no book. No book. Broke. Rich. Book, 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 book. No book. I said, hello, write a book. Now, I didn't know how to write a book, and I didn't have good guidance back then. But I knew one thing, and that is I should write a book about something I know about. So I thought, maybe I'll write this book. How to Become a 39-Year-Old Life Loser, 7 Proven Techniques. I could write that book, but it's not the brand I was going for. So I wrote this book, You Can Make $1 Million in Canadian Real Estate. You see, I had made a great deal of money in real estate, but I lost it in the divorce. I'm not complaining, I'm just telling you I lost it in the divorce. So I wrote a book, and first person I showed it to was my mother, because I wanted to rehabilitate her love of me. I mean, she'd given up. My mother. So I showed her the book. Ma, I wrote a book. She said, why do you have a broken picket fence across the bottom? I said, Ma, those are houses. I drew them myself. She says, son, you could have drawn better houses when you were 4. Anyways, the next thing I say to you, the next 10 seconds is the only important part of this entire presentation. If I bump into you on the street accidentally 10 or 20 years from now, the next 10 seconds of what I say is the only thing that you'll remember. Are you ready for this?
Yes.
Do not take notes. Just pay strict attention to the screen. You will never forget this. You will not need to take notes. From age 39 to age 40, I got out of $100,000 of debt, starting from unemployed, the first time I was out of debt in my entire adult life. And in one more year, from age 40 to age 41, I became a millionaire, and I've never looked back.
Wow.
That's my story. Put up your hand if you'd like to have a story like that. Yes, well, amazingly, my clients are getting there faster than me. Why? Because I'm a way, way better coach than that guy was way back then when I was 39. He didn't really do that good of a job. He gave me some guidance, but not really very much. And since then, I've developed the program enormously, and it's an amazing, the world's #1 book writing program. But not just to write a book, to make money from writing a book. So come into my life now. So this is going to be the good news or the bad news? The good news. Yeah, good. Say it with some pride. So my dearest friend is Jack Canfield. We actually know each other. It's not a selfie, right? I'm on a cruise ship there in Croatia with Jack. Jack Canfield and I go on vacation twice a year to an exotic place in the world. Like we are actually best friends. Wow. And Robert Allen, the greatest real estate teacher of all time. I think you can see me in this picture. Not sure. Les Brown, the greatest speaker of all time, good friend of mine. You know what this picture seems to indicate? That at least for Oprah, size matters. I'm just saying. Anyway, Stedman Graham is a good sport. I said to him, this picture is so embarrassing. Can we take another picture? He says, sure. So I ran around the hotel looking for a stool so I could stand on the stool. It didn't work. He's still taller than me. This is the most embarrassing picture of my whole life. Rudy Giuliani, the greatest mayor of all time. Bob Proctor, the grandfather of the entire personal growth industry and a dear friend of mine. We're neighbors, by the way. Sir Richard Branson. Have you noticed that when I show you a picture of my friend, a book drops down? Yes. Have you noticed when you go visit a friend of yours, books don't drop down? Have you noticed that? Yes. Rich, book. Struggle, no book. I hope you're getting the message. Brian Tracy. Brian Mulroney, the Prime Minister of Canada. Steve Wozniak, the only living co-founder of Apple Computers. Dr. John Gray, the rapper Ice-T. Bill Clinton. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Robert Kiyosaki, the greatest wealth teacher of all time. And best of all, Shrek. Even Shrek has a book. Don't you dare say I couldn't write a book. Shrek has a book. Wow. I know. So get your camera ready. Everybody wants to take a picture of the next slide. So get your camera ready. You'll never be able to write it all down. Get it all ready. Get ready. I'm only going to show it up for a few seconds. Get your camera ready. It's not what you know, and it's not who you know. It's who knows you. And the most powerful, most famous people in the world know me. Did they know me at age 39? No. Did they want to know me at age 39? No. Why do they want to know me now? Because I have a book. Now listen carefully. You might say, what does a book got to do with whether I'm a friend of theirs? Listen carefully. You don't know anyone who's written a book. So you think it's okay to not write a book. Because that's what all your friends do. But think of it from my friend's point of view. I've listed my 100 top friends, and I've listed every book they've written. The average is 8. 8 books. My friends have written on average 8 books. I don't have a friend who hasn't written a book. My friends look at you and think you're weird because you haven't even written a book. You look at you and you think you're okay. You look at your friends, you think they're okay because nobody's written a book, so it's probably okay. But my friends look at you and say, if you haven't written a book, it must be because you have nothing to say. And if you have nothing to say, why should we listen to you? You'll never have a friend who's famous. And you might say, well, so what? What do I care about that? Because I can call up a world-famous friend of mine and say, I need a favor. Can you do this for me? And they'll say, yeah. And they'll just text something and it'll be done. Something that might have cost me $100,000 to do. Something that might cost me 10 or 20 years to try to get done. And yet a powerful friend of mine can say, oh yeah, I've got one. You can have it. I can get years of work done in seconds. I can make hundreds of thousands of dollars by a wealthy friend of mine doing me a quick favor that costs them nothing but helps me enormously. That's why you want to have wealthy friends. So let me show you how much a book can help you. You can go from employee to a high salary employee. That's if you like your job. Maybe you don't like your job. If you don't like your job, you can go from employee to owning your own business. You can go from tradesman to a far higher income tradesman. You can go from salesman to a far higher income salesman. You can go from being in business to being in a highly more profitable business. When you have a book, you will be known more. Which rung of the ladder is you will be known more? Visibility. Very, very good. But you have to solve 4 problems. Write this down. You must solve 4 problems. The first problem is the forward scandal. Forward is not a direction, forward versus backward, so please write it correctly. Please spell it correctly. The forward scandal is, if someone says they wrote a book, you'll say, wow. And then if they say, Sir Richard Branson wrote the forward, you'd say, wow. But it's a scandal because celebrities charge for it. They charge for it. So it's not that the celebrity knows you and loves you, it's just that you paid them for it. And it's not illegal, but it's a scam. So don't ever do it. Here are the 3 rules. You must have a forward. It must be written by a celebrity, but you cannot pay for it. So let's see if you got it, because there's a surprise test coming up, and I want you to do well. And here are the 3 questions on the surprise test. You must have a forward, must be written by a celebrity, but you cannot. You'll do very well in the surprise test. Problem number 2 is the publishing problem. What broke people do is they spend years and years of their life writing a book. They make 100 copies. They trot the 100 copies around to 100 publishers, and the 100 publishers all say no. That's what broke people do. They like doing everything that doesn't work. So here's my rule. Don't you dare even start writing your book till you already have a publisher. Don't you dare even start writing your book until you have a publisher. Does that sound amazing?
Yes.
Would you like to be able to have a publisher in hand before you start writing your book? Yes, I promise to tell you that before I finish today. And number 3 is an official book launch. You must have an official book launch. The author has to pay for it. It costs $10,000, $20,000. When you sign your contract with the publisher, see if you can get the publisher to pay for any part of it. Because typically it's the author's job. And I've never had a book launch. I wrote New York Times bestselling books. I never got a book launch. I don't want that to happen to you. And finally, number 4 is ending procrastination. I don't want you to say, I'm writing a book, and then 10 years later your friends are saying, hey, where's that book? Eventually, because of integrity, you actually have to get it out. So how do I end procrastination? I have a job description called My Personal Book Architect. And I train my personal book architect to make sure that she pushes me just enough, but not too much, and she knows exactly how to do it. And so, are you taking a picture of me?
No. I was thinking.
Taking a picture of the screen.
I did.
Do you want a picture of me? Yeah.
Very nice. Wow.
Okay. So my personal book architects make sure that every book that I write comes out on time. I've written 11 books.
Wow.
And my 12th one is co-authored with Jack Canfield.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a wonderful life. And every book I say I'm going to write comes out. Every single book, because I have a personal book architect. Makes life so easy. But I never want you to be without problems. I said there's 4 problems. I want to give you a bonus 5th problem. I know, I'm so nice. I over-deliver. Here it is. Never join any program unless the guru himself is willing to personally teach you in a follow-up workshop. This is really important because these days, the people on stage know how to trick you. They know how to make you think that they're going to personally help you, but really it's their coaches and some downloads from the web that help you. And it's not them, they're off selling other people. Don't you dare ever get into a program unless the guru himself, not his coaches or his hired guns, the guru himself is willing to come back and personally teach you. Otherwise, he doesn't care. He just absolutely doesn't care. So, how do you know when you're branded? This is really fascinating. Make sure you get this down. When someone says wow about you, you're branded. When someone says wow about you, you're branded. So what did your broke parents and your broke teachers teach you what to do? Small talk. They taught you to talk about the news, the weather, the sports, traffic, all the stuff that doesn't matter in any way. I hit every red light coming here. Oh. And then I had to park on the other side of the parking lot. No one's going to say wow to that horse shit. But that's what you call small talk, and that's what your broke parents told you to do. It's horrible. No one's going to say wow to that. But when someone says, what's your name, Raymond? What do you do? I'm the author, the award-winning author of the book, Double Your Income, Doing What You Love.
Wow.
Wow. Or I sometimes say, I help you double your income doing what you love.
Wow.
And when they challenge me, they say, well, how do I know you do that? I wrote the book. What book? Double Your Income Doing What You Love.
Wow.
And they say, oh my gosh, it must be true. And then people are saying wow to me all the time, and they don't say wow to you because you follow the ridiculous rule to do small talk. When I go to an event, the participants in the event hand me the stupidest small talk questions. Let's say I'm doing an event in Los Angeles. How was your flight? I'm here. How bad could it be? Or they'll say, how's the weather in Toronto? How the hell do I know? I'm in Los Angeles. If you're so excited, go to the Weather Channel. Like, they ask me all these stupid, inane questions that I have no interest in. They don't even have interest in. But when I speak to the host, he hugs me and says, oh my gosh, I saw the video you just posted on YouTube. It's really powerful. And I saw you in a new movie. And I'm so impressed with you, and I want to hire you again. And we talk about stuff that matters. Broke people, they talk about horse shit that doesn't matter. Traffic, news, sports. See the game last night? Yeah, good, eh? Yeah. And the proof that it's stupid is that a week from now, you won't even remember who won the game. But meanwhile, you pretend it's important today. Good game, eh? Yeah. Bad traffic? Oh, yeah. Yeah. You know, for May, this is a pretty cold day. Yeah, cold day. Don't talk to... If you ask me if it's cold out, I'll say I don't do weather. I don't do weather. Don't do small talk around me. Because the more small talk I do, the more my income will look like yours. And I don't want your income. Even you don't want your income. But it's all you deserve because you're not branded. You work really hard, and you have nowhere near the income you deserve because you're not branded. You do work hard. You do. I know that. You have integrity. You want to produce great results. But if you're unbranded, like 97% of Canadians and Americans, you just don't earn the money you want, no matter how hard you work. As Bianca found out. Sound. This is sound. Sound. Sound.
The book called Let's F the System, 5 Ways to Have All the Fun and Freedom You Want. Ever since I started writing this book, only amazing stuff happened to me. And plus, everybody that meets me and finds out that I'm an author, they all say wow. And I think that's kind of the only thing we actually aim for in life, to be amazing. And because I said amazing, I wanted to tell you that Raymond is amazing.
Wow. Wow, thanks for that feeble applause. Every wealthy person and every successful company is branded. How many ways are there to get branded? 4. Remember, I started the presentation saying there's 4 ways to get branded. I'm going to tell you how many ways? 4. And then how many do you choose? 1. Boy, this was a slow group. Okay, let's try it again. How many ways are there to get branded? 4. How many am I going to show you?
1.
Okay, let's start again. How many ways are there to get branded? 4. How many will I show you? 4. How many will you choose? 1. Must be a long day. See the game last night? All right, yes, there are 4 ways. And I'll show you all 4, and then you choose the 1. How many? 1. You choose the one that suits your needs the best. Here it is, technique number 4, branding by association. Who do you hang with? Who are your buddies? So I showed you pictures of me with about 50 of the most famous people in the entire world. When I showed you those pictures, did your respect for me go up or down? Up, a little or a lot? A lot. That's branding by association. I wasn't boasting. I was just stating it. They are my friends. For most of them, I have their cell phone numbers memorized in my iPhone. For most of them, I know their phone number. I was with Robert Allen, the #1 real estate teacher in the world, a few days ago in Salt Lake City. Yeah. But you may not have world-famous author friends, so this doesn't apply to you. That's okay. Don't feel bad yet. There's still 3 to go. There's some hope. Diminishing a bit, but there's still hope. Branding technique number 3 is branding by testimonial. You have the word testimonial Incorrect. It's a misunderstood word. Because you think a testimonial is your client saying something wonderful. Oh my God, he changed my life. I used to have back pain and now I don't. Right? That's not a testimonial. A testimonial must be from a celebrity. Must. Because if you read his testimonial and it said, thank you, you changed my life, Mary McGregor. Who the hell is she? Maybe he made her up. Like you don't know who the hell it is. But if it's, thank you, you changed my life, Sir Richard Branson. Whoa, now you got something. So a testimonial must be from a world famous celebrity. I know. So I think you should just throw out all your testimonials. Have you ever heard of Robert Kiyosaki? Yeah, his most famous book is Rich Dad, Poor Dad. But my favorite book of his is Cash Flow Quadrant. Put up your hand if you've heard of Cash Flow Quadrant. I love that book the best. Here is what Robert Kiyosaki says about me. I thank Raymond Aaron and his tapes on goal setting for helping me achieve more with less stress. Is that a giant statement? Yes. By a giant guy? Yes. When a giant guy says a giant thing, is that a big deal? Yes. How do we know he said that? Because he wrote it on page 187 of his second book. Wow. Let me show you. I thank Raymond Aaron and his tape on goal setting for assisting me in achieving more with a lot less stress. Wow. Because of that one sentence, I've made over $8 million in the last 7 years. Wow. Because of that one sentence, I've earned over $8 million in the last 7 years. An extra $8 million. Put up your hand if you'd like an extra $8 million to show up in your bank account. An extra $8 million. A new 1,000 people read that page every day. And then attempt to get through to me. They call us up. Ring. Hello, Raymond Aaron Group. Is this the Raymond Aaron and Kiyosaki second book? Yes, it is. Can I, buy something? You don't even have to be Jewish to know that's a good deal. By the way, there's a myth that every Jew is wealthy. It's not true, but it's a great brand. So we keep it going. So you may not have great testimonials. You've blown 2 out of 4. It's okay. There's still some. Yeah, there's still 2 more. There's still 2 more. Number 2, branding by achievement. So were you recently the mayor of Toronto, Nobel Prize winner, world record holder, anything like that? Well, let's see if I've got any. I've been in the Canadian Who's Who every single year for 35 years in a row, without fail. And in every single year, I've been on the very first page, though that's mostly for alphabetical reasons. I'm internationally syndicated on radio talk shows around the world. The closest one to us is AM 640 Talk Radio Toronto. And you can be on radio and television too, but only if you have a book, as Bao found out.
Hello, my name is Bao Tran. I am the author of the book on foreclosures. I got so many customers. Without a book, I could not reach that much people. I appear on TV. I appear on real estate workshop. I am who I am today because I got the book. I made the right decision. Raymond Aaron is amazing.
Wow. Wow. And I'm sure you've heard of the movie The Secret? Yes? There were only 40 teachers chosen to be filmed for that movie, and I was one of the ones chosen. Wow. Oprah was not chosen. Brian Tracy wasn't chosen. Tony Robbins wasn't chosen. Les Brown wasn't chosen. I wouldn't even stoop to say something like that on stage. It's a joke. Tough group. And I bought and sold over 1,100 properties across Canada. That's over $500 million in buying and selling in today's money. Wow. Wow. So I have lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of achievements. But you may not. You got one left. You're hanging on by a fingernail, and your fingernail's getting sore. Oh, let's hope to God the last one pertains to you, because it's all you got. And here it is, Branding technique number 1, branding by wow. And what is the easiest wow? To tell somebody you wrote a book. When you say you wrote a book, they go nuts. They, oh my gosh, that's incredible. How can I get an advance copy of it? Can you please speak to my group? You'll be shocked. You'll be shocked at the gigantic things that will happen to you when you write a book. Took me 4 years to write Chicken Soup for the Parent Soul, but it hit New York Times top 10. So for the rest of my life, I can legitimately say I'm a New York Times top 10 bestselling author, and that brand is worth a fortune to me. Not only that, the book sales. I get a check every quarter. That means every 3 months. Wow. And my first check was for $100,000 for Chicken Soup for the Parent Soul. And then I wrote Chicken Soup for the Canadian Soul, which was important for 3 reasons. Number 1, it was the first national chicken soup book ever attempted. Number 2, it was the number 1 best-selling nonfiction book in Canada for 6 months after its release. And number 3, and most important, it was the first time that Americans found out that Canadians had a soul. So it was a very important book, and my first royalty check was $100,000. Yeah, lots of money in a book. And my newest book, Branding Small Business for Dummies, I decided to do something different. I decided to use my physics background and analyze book writing. No one's ever done this before. So I looked at all the activities that I did in the previous books that I'd written, and then I mapped it to the number of pages that produced. And I was shocked. Most of the activities produced no pages, but I thought they had to be done. And then 2 or 3 of the activities produced all the pages of the book. So I said, okay, Raymond, you got an opportunity to write a special book, Branding Small Business for Dummies. Why don't you do only those things that produce all the pages and none of the things that don't produce any pages? When the fireworks die down, you are going to scream wow. When the fireworks die down, you're going to scream wow at how long it took me to write this book. Are you ready? Yes. Are you ready to scream wow? Yes. Here are the fireworks. They're about to die down. Here it comes. Wow. 10 hours. Wow. 10 hours to write a book. Now, you just divided yourself into 2 groups. The first group is the low self-esteem group. You're in the low self-esteem group if you just said inside your head, you can't write a book in 10 hours. You just can't write a book in 10 hours. Certainly not a good book. No. I know nothing about writing a book. Raymond knows everything, but somehow I know more than him. I've helped thousands of people write books, and I figured out a way to have you write a book in 10 hours. Wow. Not every one of my clients does it. You can take longer if you want. Doesn't matter to me. But yes, you can write a book in under 10 hours. Wow, wow, wow. I wrote a book. I got rich. You want rich? Write a book. Did I mention that already? Yeah. But not in 1 to 4 years, not in 6 months. The giant breakthrough is you can write a book in 10 hours. Take longer if you want. It's not a race. Put up your hand if you'd like to write a good book really fast. A good book really fast. Get it out. Start making lots of money. As Lisa found out. Lisa is a Canadian who made it big in the States with her book. And for Canadians to make it big in the States is not easy.
Hi everybody, I'm Lisa Phillips, author of the book The Artistic Edge, and I just wanted to share some amazing things that happened to me since my book was published. Within the first 3 months, I was published in the Washington Post 3 times, and I was able to get a keynote speaking gig in the US at the Tennessee Arts Commission, where my speaking fee was $5,000. I've had so many more incredible things happen, from blog posts, conferences, articles, and also having my book being used as a teaching tool for school boards all across the US. So thank you so much, Raymond, for encouraging me to write my book.
Wow. Her book, a Canadian book, is used as a teaching aid in school boards right across the United States. Wow, wow, wow. You have a book inside of you. It's way past time to get it out. Time for a change. Time to cure invisibility. Time to climb the ladder of wealth. Time to stop struggling. Time for the goodies of life. It's time to make lots of money with a book. As Jim found out. Jim was sitting right here in the front of the room, but he's out now. I wish he were here.
Hi, my name is Jim Hetherington, and I wrote this book, Your Relationship Rescue Handbook, in the 10-10-10 program. And Raymond said that it was going to change my life, and it really has. Ever since I've written this book, I've been invited to co-author in other books. One is actually published already. I have my second book coming out in the spring. I've been invited to speak on stages. I've been invited to do radio shows and TV shows. I've been invited to go to training events where I teach, and I'm on main stage and training and encouraging other people. It just really has changed my life. I highly encourage you to get involved in the 10-10-10 program. Write a book. Raymond's team is just amazing. Raymond himself is a great mentor, great teacher, has amazing systems that will really help you get this thing through, get it done, get it published, and get out of the sea of sameness.
Wow. 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 But, now here's your lame-ass excuses. I don't have the time. Well, excuse me, the average Canadian watches 11 hours of television a week. Writing a book takes only 10 hours. That means you could write 52 books this year and still watch your favorite TV show. Wow. Don't hand me you don't have any time. But I'm bad at English. You might think you are. But no one sees the book you write except your editor. And your editor's job is to make what you wrote look like an angel wrote it. It doesn't matter whether English is your second language. It doesn't matter if you're bad in spelling, punctuation, grammar. It doesn't matter. The editor cleans it all up. I've shown you testimonials from Romania, from Vietnam. You can see they could barely speak English, and yet their book looks like English is their first language, and they write like an angel. Why? Because the editor does it all for you. You have to have an editor and a formatter. It's not included in the program because the cost is small, and in any case, I teach you how you can get it for free. So it's not a big issue. I've never written anything before. Well, hey, you'll love this. Every single person who's ever sat down to write their first book has never written a book before. So what? So what? Everybody you've seen on stage has never written a book before. So what? Don't use that as an excuse. I don't know what to write about. You may not. That's my genius. I work with you not just to have a book, but what I humorously call a Jewish book. I want you to write a Jewish book. I want you to write a book that makes you lots of money. Not just write a book. There's some other people who teach you how to write a book, but they don't care if it makes any money. I teach you how to write a book that makes money. Is that good? Yeah. Good. Thanks for your waning enthusiasm. Yeah. If I was teaching like you're responding, we'd be asleep by now. Wow. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. But I'm just an employee. Then get ready for raises, promotions, and job offers. Because nobody else in the company's written a book. Who else are they going to promote? Who else are they going to promote? But I own a store. Does it work for me? Absolutely yes. People will flood into your store if you've written a book, no matter what your store is. But I'm a property investor. Good. Then people will give you mortgages. People will invest in you. Really, they'll just be eager. Like the way I got my first few mortgages is I walked in with my book. And we talked about my book. I'd autographed it to the loans officer. We talked about my book for an hour, and he said, "You'll get the mortgage." Wow. I said, "Why?" He said, "You wrote the book on it." Like, how can you not give me the mortgage? I wrote the book on it. That's how people think. As Ursula found out, as a professional, she's an accountant, but lawyers and chiropractors and medical doctors are not allowed to advertise. But books are not considered an advertisement, even though they're the best advertisement you could ever have. Listen to her. Listen, before her book was out, clients came racing through the door.
Hey, this is Ursula. Almost immediately after I announced that I was the author of an upcoming book, I started to get invitations to do podcasts and speaking engagements, and of course, I got new clients walking through my door. I love Raymond's 10-10-10 program. Raymond is amazing.
Wow. Wow, she's the only Orbit client who's not here. Well, you saw like 95% of all my Orbits. But I don't know much. You know much more than your readers. Like chiropractors, medical doctors come to me and say, "I've just been out of chiropractic school or medical school or dental school for a couple years. Most chiropractors and dentists, etc., know more than me." And I say, "You're not writing it for other chiropractors. You're writing it for people with sore backs. Do you know more about sore backs than people with sore backs? Yeah, of course. Good, write your book. But I really don't like promoting myself. Good, the book will do it for you. As Boy found out. Now, she speaks very quietly. She has a combination of a Singaporean accent and a Vietnamese accent, and she has the lungs of a bird, so it's hard to hear her. But what she has developed is unbelievable. She's developed a program where in 6 weeks you can go from not playing a note on a piano to playing classical music. Wow. It's unheard of. She's a genius in the field. And in 10 years, she's built up her YouTube subscribers to 40,000. Wow. Listen carefully to what happened to her YouTube subscribers in 1 week after her book came out.
Hello, my name is Boy Ngọc. I'm the author of the book Piano Solo Method, a new way to learn to play piano within 6 weeks. And when I published my book, there are 2 miracles coming to my life. The first one is my YouTube channel from 40,000 subscribers going to 50,000 subscribers.
In 1 week.
And the second thing, I already sold 1,000 copies on my books in Vietnamese version. And Raymond Aaron, I'm so appreciative for your help, because with your help, it's so amazing and your stuff really works.
Wow. Wow. But my friends will laugh at me. Actually, they'll be dazzled, and you know it. When you have a book, this is really important, then clients will come to you, suppliers will love you, loans officers will throw money at you, investors will throw money at you. They'll love you, they'll just do anything for you when you have a book. As Amal found out, he is creating an app, a happiness app. He needs an investment of $500,000. And he couldn't get it. For 1 entire year, he couldn't get it. And the day his book came out, he got the full $500,000.
Hello, my name is Amal Indi. I am the award-winning author of The Authority's book on life energy. I completed this book in 6 weeks with the help of Raymond's 10-10-10 program. And now I have lined up some investors in Sri Lanka to invest $500,000 to the company to grow bigger. Raymond's program works. Raymond is amazing. Thank you, Raymond.
1 year, not a penny of investment. He said, I'm writing a book. $500,000 showed up that day. 1 year, 0. 1 day, $500,000. That, because he had a book, he's the same guy. But when he has a book, he's a different guy. How much does it cost? Well, it costs as much as a small car. If you can't afford it, you better join. If you've been working for 5, 10, 20, 30 years and you don't have a few $1,000s to rub together, you better do something different. And this is the most powerful something different you're ever going to get offered. And here's my legacy. I'm not offering it here today, but it's a 6 audio program that I offer for $3,000. The people who are fortunate enough to get into my 10-10-10 program always upgrade to that and pay $3,000 within a month or two, because it dramatically helps you sell your book, and it dramatically helps the book sell you, like whatever service you have. But I'm not offering it here. I'm just telling you about it. I'm very proud of it. So how will a book help you? Let's get down to brass tacks. How will a book help you? Well, I know how a book helped me. I have lots of residual income, and I have lots of free time. I take a 1-week vacation every month. And you're saying, oh, I can't do it. It's not possible. My clients will leave. My boss won't let me. Baloney. That's just the nonsense that you've heard and you believe. When you're branded, you can do whatever you like. And even more shocking, I take a 1-month vacation every year. I went to Fiji and slept on that beach in Fiji for a month. I went canoeing in the high Arctic of Canada for a month. I went to the rainforest in Ecuador for a month. I went to New Zealand for a honeymoon for a month. I trekked around the Annapurna Mountains in Nepal for a month. I went to safari in South Africa for a month. I did a double crossing of the Sahara Desert by jeep and camel for a month. I spent actually 4 months going all the way through Europe, from Israel, which was never in Europe, to England, which is no longer in Europe, but somehow I still call it my European vacation. I did 1 month detox in a sauna, and by the way, it's not as exciting as the marketing brochure seems to indicate. A 1 month vacation in Australia, 1 month in Bali, 1 month in Croatia, but my most amazing 1 month vacation of all time was Antarctica. What a blessed continent that is. By the way, every iceberg is completely different shape. You've seen these silly pictures of icebergs that come up to a point. There's no such iceberg. Everyone is like a fingerprint. Everyone is completely different. And there I took the greatest picture I ever took in my life. Do you want to see it? Yes, I took my tuxedo to Antarctica. There I am with a king penguin. Behind my head is not gravel. Behind my head is 150,000 king penguins. Wow. I know. So, is my life the life that you want? I have no debt. I have high income. I have very high wealth. I have the sweetest marriage any man could want. I know. My wife is a very high income CEO. She's a model. She's an actress and a competitive dancer. I know. She wears red. Yeah, she wears it very well. And I drive the sexiest car on the planet, a Tesla S. Oh my God. When I put my foot down, I actually have to have my hand behind my head. It's really an amusement park ride. It's a crazy, crazy vehicle. And I have a gorgeous new home, high residual income, and lots of time off to do what I want. Did I have that life at age 39? No. Do I have that life now? Yes. What's the one thing I changed? I wrote a book. Thanks for getting that message. And my program, as you now know, is called 10-10-10. You write a book of 10 chapters of your own words in 10 hours of your own time. Take longer if you want, doesn't matter. But the shocking thing is you'll be holding your finished, published, physical book in your hand in 10 weeks. Wow. That's what's amazing. That's what's amazing. And there's 2 levels. You write your book as one level, and I write the book for you as another level. So I want to talk to you about you write the book. Yeah, so I'm going to tell you now about you write the book. There's 10 guarantees. If you write your own book, there's 10 guarantees, and I'm going to go over them right now. The first has to do with I don't know what to write about. I understand that, but I do. And guarantee number 1 is I will tell you the perfect target audience, the perfect topic, the perfect title, and the perfect subtitle. You don't have to worry about it. I know which one you should do to make the most money. As Jill Voss. Oh, yeah. All right, I'll tell you this story. Jill, what's her first name? Jill. She was a salaried employee, didn't want to write a book about her job, but she always wanted to have a workshop about helping single women. She's very pretty, and she's single, but her relatives wanted her to get married. Come on, find a guy, settle down, get a house. And she didn't want to. She liked being single. And there's other women who like to be single, but they get hucked by friends and relatives. Come on, settle down, have a guy. But when she offered her workshop, nobody would sign up. Do you have a PhD? They would say to her. Can I have the first morning free and then decide if I want it? Like, all that nonsense. So I said to her, write a book. She said, you say that to everybody. I do. Do you know why? Because it works. So she wrote a book, and I gave her the best title of my whole life. Now, this is a woman who doesn't want to get married, okay? And the title of the book I gave her was Jill Without Jack. Wow. I know. And the subtitle is How Happily Single Women Can Stay Happily Single. Wow. And that's what she called her workshop. She limits her workshop to 200 women. She charges $500. That's $100,000, and she does one a month. She makes $1 million a year up from zero. Wow. Because she wrote a book. Yeah. There's her cover, Jill Without Jack. Wow. Are you getting the message? Yes. Okay, good. So guarantee number 2 is you'll have the perfect book length. There's 31 marketing messages. How many? 31 marketing messages. And you have to have the marketing messages in a book. Otherwise, the book will be full of good content, but it'll die. Everybody knows McDonald's burgers are totally average, but McDonald's has the best burger marketing of anybody, and so they sell more burgers, but the burger is average. If you write a great book, not an average book, a great book, but no marketing, it won't sell. It'll get you nothing. There's 31 marketing messages, and I'll tell you only one of them. It's the perfect book length. If you write a book that's too thick, people say, no thanks. If you write a book that's too thin, they'll think it's a marketing brochure. It has to be exactly the right thickness. And when it is, that's when you're branded. Guarantee number 3 has to do with what is the deadline to get the book done. Well, you know it's 10 weeks, but I give you 1 entire year. I give you 5 times longer than you need to make sure that you get your book done. Guarantee number 4 has to do with when do I start making money? This is the Jewish guarantee. You start making money today. There's an 8-word sentence. I am the author of the upcoming book. And then you say on sex, on Pilates, on making money in real estate, whatever you want to say. And people say, oh my gosh, how can I get advanced copies? Can you speak to my group? You start making money today. And guarantee number 4, that's 4, sorry. Yes, so guarantee number 5, oh, sorry, I'm getting all excited. As Jeff found out, Jeff has never, ever been on radio or television, ever, ever, ever.
Hello, my name is Jeff, and I am the award-winning author of the book Retire Wealthy. After I announced that I have started writing my book, I have appeared on television twice, and I was on radio for a 1-hour show. Raymond is amazing. This really works.
Wow, thank you, Jeff. Thank you. Guarantee number 5 has to do with the forward scandal. This is the surprise test. Are you ready? Yes. You must have a forward. It must be written by a celebrity. But you cannot. Very, very good. Guarantee number 5 is I write the forward for you. Wow. Now, if you got somebody better, that's cool, but here's what it looks like. Here's a book that I published, The Unique You. It's kind of cute. If you look at the bottom, it says, forward by Raymond Aaron, New York Times top 10 bestselling author. If they know me, they'll say, wow. If they don't know me, they'll say, New York Times top 10 bestselling author? Wow. How'd you get a guy like that? And that will give you more wows. The first time someone says wow about you, you are branded. And every time after that, your brand gets shinier and shinier and shinier. Oh, Raymond, you're so positive. You don't understand me. I have debts, I have problems, I have medical illnesses. You're always so positive. But my debts, they're so heavy. Well, the reason your debts are so darn heavy is because you're not branded. You work hard and you don't earn much. You need a book. You can make lots more money. With the book, you can go places you never thought you could go. You can turn the tables on adversity with a book. With apologies to all my vegan friends. And remember, you can get there faster than me, because I'm a way better coach than that guy was when I was 39 years old. A way, way better coach. And you can earn your annual income in one speech, but only if you've written a book. Nobody wants you if you haven't written a book. When I'm on a stage of 10, 20,000 people, the professional master of ceremonies always says, and next, Raymond Aaron, all the way from Toronto, Canada, New York Times top 10 best-selling author. They don't care that I've helped 1,000 people become millionaires. They don't care that I've helped 10,000 people increase their net worth by hundreds of thousands of dollars. They don't care. They just care what's the name of your book. If you don't have a book, they don't care about you. If you have a book, they do. Have I made that point clear? Yes, but you're sitting there saying, shit, I don't have a book. So I want to tell you something sad, and I don't like that I have to say this. You're pretending you're happy, and you're pretending you're with me and saying rah, rah, rah. And 80% of you aren't. 80% of you are just waiting for me to finish so you can go home. Because you're not going to make a change in your life. You've just come here because there's good air conditioning. 20% are eager to make a change, and they're the ones who are going to get into the program. And the 80% are just waiting to, I don't know, go home, see Jack Canfield tomorrow. You know, heard he's pretty good. So if you're in the 80% who are not interested in getting branded, you're just interested in how funny I am, then you have an opportunity now, because my presentation is only a few more minutes. You have an opportunity to change your mind. Because if you've never done anything, if you always let opportunities go by, if you see other people making a difference in your life and you wonder why you're not making a difference in your life, it's because 80% of you will never do anything. And you even know who you are. You're the ones who are saying, when the hell is he going to stop already? And the 20% are saying, I want him to stop so I can get into the program. So for the 80% who aren't going to do anything, I'm really glad you're here. I'm really glad. I'm happy. Because it adds to the audience, and it adds to the fun, it adds to the applause. It's fun. But the sadness is, not that I'm not going to make enough money, the sadness is that I won't be able to change your life. So if you're in the 80% who are not going to do anything, you have a few more minutes to change your mind. Okay, here we go. As Raisa found out, she was one of the cute young girls in the program. Listen to this.
Hi, my name is Raisa, and I'm the award-winning author of the book, Make My World a Better Place, How to Live in Peace and Harmony with Others. Do you have any goals, dreams, ideas, opinions that you want to share with the world? Then you need to write a book. For me, this wasn't possible without the 10-10-10 program hosted by Raymond Aaron. It's fast, easy, simple to use, and you actually get things done. With this book, I was able to gain my first speaking opportunity with the world-famous Bob Proctor, and then I'm going to have the same opportunity to speak with the world-famous Jack Canfield, all because I wrote a book. Raymond, he is amazing, and without his program, I wouldn't be able to do so many things. The age of 16, that's right, I'm 16. Thank you.
Wow. Wow. Don't you dare tell me you don't know enough to write a book. How much life experience can a 16-year-old have? Right? And she wrote it. She was on stage 6 months ago when I brought Bob Proctor in. And because she'd written a book, and because I just love her, she's like the wonderful young kids that are coming up, I gave her 5 minutes on stage. In the feedback forms, she was speaking on the same day as Bob Proctor and me. And Bob Proctor and I got straight 5s. She got 6. She outscored me and Bob Proctor. She was dazzling. But she wouldn't have even had that opportunity if she didn't write a book. I wouldn't have let her on my stage. And when she got off the stage, the applaud was thunderous. I said, I want you back. I want you back. I want you the next time I do a big celebratory event. She said, who's my co-star? Jack Canfield's your co-star. So she accepted. Like she'd risen so much by Bob Proctor that she had to protect her brand. And she'll be speaking tomorrow. You'll fall in love with her. But even huger is you'll end procrastination forever. How will you end it? Because guarantee number 6 is you can have my own personal book architect. Wow. Yeah, so people never get excited about this, so I have to explain it. So here's the benefit of having a personal book architect. The program 10-10-10 says that you'll have your finished published book in your hand in 10 weeks. But then I noticed that Chinmay Swami, who's here, you already heard him today, he wrote Run Before You Walk in 6 weeks. So I figured, let's have a contest. And so people beat 6 weeks and 5 weeks and 4 weeks until this cute little Effie Angel Canera wrote Get Your Sexy Back in 10 days. Wow. 10 days, I figured, that's the end of, let's close the record book. That's it. So drum roll, drum roll, drum roll, drum roll, drum roll. Emma, age 15, wrote her book in 4 days. Wow. From the day she registered to get her topic, her target audience, her title, her subtitle, her chapter headings, the bullets within each chapter, and writing the whole book and doing the foreword and the acknowledgments and the dedication, getting all the elements for the cover, getting a cover artist, getting the editor, getting the formatter, finding a publisher, having it printed, sent to her home, open the box, taking the first book out, taking that selfie and texting it to me. 4 days. Wow. 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 What if my book isn't published? You're going to go nuts over this one. Guarantee number 7, I commit to publishing your book. And I'm the best publisher in the world. My other books that have been published by the big New York City publishers, I get 6%, which is a sneaky way of saying they keep 94%. When I publish your book through the 10-10-10 imprint, you get 100%. 100%. Raymond, how do you make any money? Well, first of all, thank you for being interested in my financial well-being. I'm going to do well this year. It's okay. But what I do, I want every penny of revenue to go to you. I don't want any share of your book sales. I want it all to go to you. All the sales from Amazon, all the sales from all the books around the world, all the sales to your family or at the back of your workshops or wherever you do, it's all yours, 100% yours. Wow. Is that nice? Yep. Good. And what will Raymond do if I write other books? You say, write other books? What planet are you on? Well, I had to add this guarantee because 1/3 of my already published authors have already published a second book. They said, I made so much money on one book, might as well write another book. And so I've agreed to publish every book you ever write or any book you've already written. Wow. And guarantee number 9, what is it about? Guarantee number 9 is about how will I sell my book? And here's the answer. Guarantee number 9, I will list your book on Amazon. Because you won't do it well because you've never done it before, so you don't know what the heck to do, and you don't know what you don't know. But I know how to do it really well. First of all, and then in addition to that, there's a particular problem for Canadians. Because when Canadians go to Amazon, do we want to typically buy a book or list our book for sale? Buy. Yes. So Amazon, in its wisdom, says, oh, those silly little Canadians. So we type in Amazon.com from a Canadian IP address, and Amazon redirects us to Amazon.ca. Nothing you can do about it. So you list your book on Amazon.ca, and no American buys it. Americans can't spell .ca. Americans represent 70% of all sales on the web. Not a single American will buy it. So I know how to list. And by the way, there's 11 Amazons. Amazon.co.uk in England, Amazon.co.za or ZA in South Africa. There's 11 of them, and they're all different, and they don't talk to each other. When you list on one, the others don't care. But I know how to list you on all of them. Is that exciting? So I do a great job. You might as well let me do it. And finally, guarantee number 9, you will love it. How will I promote my book? And the answer is, I will pay for and host your official book launch at my expense. And you keep all the sales. All the sales, I have all the expenses. Those are the 10 guarantees. And I told you there's 2 levels. One is you write your book, and I've told you all about that. The other is I write your book for you. So let's talk about I write your book for you. In that one, it's called Done For Me. So if you have enough income that you don't want to take time off to write your book, or you have low self-esteem or whatever, if you just want me to write it for you, then you get a separate guarantee, and here's what Done For Me is all about. We write the book for you as if you wrote it, because my professional writer will phone you and talk to you for a few hours, audio record the phone call, transcribe it into English, and your ability is to yak, 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 yak. And the professional writer will say, when did you get started? What mistakes have you made? Tell me some of your best testimonials. He'll just prod you and then use yak, 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 yak. And then he goes away and converts it into a book. Wow. Whenever you see that Gwyneth Paltrow or Brad Pitt or Meryl Streep has written a book, they didn't write the book. If you look in the bottom right corner, it says with Mary Smith. Mary Smith wrote the book, not Gwyneth Paltrow. So all of them. And we use those very same professional writers that charge big Hollywood superstars $250,000. We use those very same professional writers, but because I give them a gig every month, I get a giant discount and pass it on to you. Wow. Yeah, it's a huge wow. So we interview you, we audio record and transcribe your interview, we design the book with and for you. I personally help you with your title and subtitle. We design the cover with and for you. We get your ISBN number, that's the funny barcode on the back. We publish your book, we ship 100 copies to your door. We convert your book to ebook format. We list your book and ebook for sale on Amazon. We teach you how to get and prepare for radio and television interviews. We handle all sales and all booking and send you all the money. Wow, that's what we do. Now, what do you do? And here's the answer. Answer the freaking phone. Nothing else. You answer the phone. The professional writer has an appointment with you. You talk to him for a few hours, and then he sends you the draft of chapter 1. You approve it or make whatever changes you want. Draft of chapter 2. Once you approve chapter 10, you're holding your book in your hands. Wow. So if you want us to do it for you, you can. It's a little more expensive, but if that's what you need, that's fine. So one way to get the information is the videos. Another way to get the information is the Get Your Book Done workshop, which several people have already told you about. I personally come to different cities around the world every month and do a Get Your Book Done workshop. I personally do it. And that means if you don't want to do it at home alone in your living room, then come to my Get Your Book Done workshop, and I personally will help you write the book. I know. And then there's another way to help, and that's the private coach, the personal book architect. So your personal book architect will help you every day if you wish. I will help you in 3 days at the Get Your Book Done workshop, and the videos help you. Some people just do the videos, and that's enough. They get their book done. Some people want to wait for the Get Your Book Done workshop so that they can do it with me helping them and prodding them along. It's whatever you wish, but you've got 3 ways to get the information. And I love doing the Get Your Book Done workshop in Hawaii. Why? Because if I'm not hungry at lunch, I go to the Pacific Ocean and go for a swim. Wow. Like if you're going to have a workshop, it might as well be in Hawaii. And I told you there's 31 marketing secrets that must be in your book. If you miss even one of them, your book won't sell well. And if you try to write a book on your own, you'll miss all 31. And your book will be a disaster. The content will be good, but the inventory will sit dead in your garage and won't do anybody any good. But if you're still sitting there wondering, here is the best news of all. It's time for a change. It's time to cure invisibility. It's time to rise the ladder of wealth. It's time to make way, way more money with a book. It's time to let the book do the work for you. It's time for a giant discount. I told you it's a small car, but let's be more specific, $28,000. But don't get worried, it's Canadian. $28,000 Canadian, you'll make it back in no time. Escape the sea of sameness. Climb up onto the island of individuality so that you can float effortlessly for the rest of your life down the river of relevant differentiation. Stop struggling. Stop being so exhausted. You can't go back to make a new start, but you can start today and make a brand new end. You're unique and special pretending that you're ordinary. You're unique and special earning as if you're ordinary. Stop it. Stop doing that. And as a bonus, at your official book launch, I will make you an award-winning author by giving you an award. Let me blow it up so you can see it more clearly. It's a crystal award. It's really, really beautiful, and it's personalized to you. Wow. Yeah. And here's what it looks like on your book. Right under your name, you say award-winning author. And one thing is to write a book. Another is to win an award for your book. Like other people just, they can't even, they go nuts just knowing that you wrote a book. Never mind that you won an award and it's a publisher's award. Like they just can't handle it. You know it's only part of the deal, but they don't know that. They think it's just so unbelievable. And the final discount. Why am I giving you a discount? Because it's my birthday. I'm 74. Not today exactly. It's not exactly today, but close enough. And I've been looking at your laps hoping for a gift, but I don't see any gifts. And since there should be gift giving on a birthday, I'd better give a gift to you. Do you want a gift? Yeah. Little or big? Big. Little big or big? Big. Okay, good. I will save you thousands of dollars. Thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. Not right now, but later. To one person, I'm going to give you such a giant discount. You'll be so grateful you'll get into the program easily. You'll love it. Who would like that giant discount? Okay. Okay, thank you. And yeah, so put up your hand if you want an extra $10,000. Okay, Swapna, who is sitting right here, She was the wife of Amit, who gave a 5-minute speech.
Hi, my name is Swapna. I am the award-winning author of the book, Your Journey with It, 7 Powerful Steps to Create the Life You Deserve. Just because of this book, I was able to hold my very own first workshop. And to my pleasant surprise, it was 100% sold out. I earned an additional $10,000 just because of this book. So thank you so much, Raymond.
Wow. Wow, wow. And here's another bonus. My $3,000 Ultimate Author's Marketing Guide that I said I wasn't going to offer here, I'm not going to offer it, except I will give it to you for free. Whichever one you wish, the Done For Me or the Platinum Plus, I'm giving you a $3,000 bonus, and you're saying, so what, the $28,000 is too big. I know. But there's going to be a discount. Better be a big discount. You'll see it is. And I want to help kids. Whatever I discount it to, for kids 16 and under, it's half price. Wow. I don't care if I lose money on it. The joy that I get helping kids write a book and the self-esteem they have so they won't be seduced into promiscuity or drugs or gang or guns is better than any parent could ever hope for. So if you have a kid, grandkid, neighbor kid, consider half price giving them this gift. It'll change their life. As Emma found out. She's the one that wrote the book in 4 days.
2 years ago, when I was 15, I published my first book, #Success, How Teens Can Create Their Own Brilliant Future. And immediately after my book was published, I started getting wild results. I went to a new school, and my book was already in the school library on display right when you walk in. People had ordered my book and were reading it and were coming up to me when I didn't even know them and saying like I had inspired them and they were so proud of me. And I was invited to all sorts of school activities right when I was a new student because my brand was so high already from the book that I had written. And the whole process was super easy and it was super quick. And the program really, really works, and it gets amazing results.
Wow! 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 Later, to one special person, I'm going to give thousands and thousands of dollars of discount. Later, to one special person, I'm going to give startling extra benefits that I haven't even mentioned so far, but not yet. Whenever you see the word now on the screen, race up onto the stage because one person on the stage is going to get that benefit. Check your shoes right now. Make sure your laces are done up. I don't want anybody tripping. But when I say wow, and when I say now, the people on stage are going to have an opportunity to get a giant benefit. You see, my personal book architects have just recently published 17 books. And so I can replace the 17 with new authors, but I can't go over that. So 17 people, and one of them will get startling benefits, but only when I say now. When I say now, you race up on stage. Who wants a giant benefit? Who wants giant discounts? Okay. Now! Right now, on stage. Whoa! Holy mackerel! Wow! Oh my God, you need a book, sweetheart. Mwah!
I'm just going to do this.
Yeah, you are. Just do it. Good. Wow. So we have two kinds of people in here. We have authors and lumps. The lumps aren't going to do it. This is the 80% that aren't going to do it. I get it. Okay, so I need you to arrange yourself so you can see the screen. Because even though you raced up here, there's more exciting things that you need to know about. Being branded by your own book means amazing things can happen to you. As Denis found out, this is unbelievable. Denis is Nigerian. She was speaking to a professor who taught her when she was in university. She said to her professor, I wrote a book. He said, you wrote a book? Why don't you give a speech to our graduating class? Wow. And after she gave the speech, the dean of the university came on stage and surprised her with a special gift. Wait till you hear the gift. This will shock you. Hi, it's Raymond, and I'm here with one of my authors. Tell us your name and the title and subtitle of your book.
Junie Owo, and the title of my book is Black Gold Refinery Business Made Easy.
Wow, and tell everyone where you live.
I live in Nigeria, Lagos, Nigeria.
Yes, now you told me something amazing because you wrote a book. Tell me what that was.
I got an offer to be given an honorary doctorate. I wrote a book.
Because you wrote a book,
yes,
they offered you an honorary doctorate,
yes,
from a real university,
yes,
in Nigeria.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Oh
my God.
Wow.
Wow. The dean of the university came on stage and gave her an honorary doctorate degree because she wrote a book. I'm not saying that's going to happen to you, but it's unbelievable. This is the type of unbelievable things that are actually happening. Being branded by your own book means you can charge way more. Do you remember Nathan was sitting right here, the guy who shovels snow? And the rate for shoveling snow from a residential driveway for an entire season of winter in Toronto is $850. He charges 50% more, and they run to pay him because he wrote a book. Watch this.
Hey Raymond, I got some exciting news for you. Right now, I'm enrolling clients at a price that's higher than my competition. You heard it? Higher. And it's all because of your lessons on branding. I mean, just the other day, I enrolled one client at $1,100. My competition last year charged him $850. And this guy came running to me and enthusiastically signed up for $1,100. I mean, and just today, one guy, I just enrolled a new client for $1,200. And it's Raymond, you are amazing. That's all I can say. And just what Raymond says really works. I can't believe it. It's unbelievable.
Wow. Do you get it? Charging 50% more than his competition, and the competition has to beg for a sale. They run to him. He doesn't beg. He doesn't even sell. They just sign up. Wow. This is a life changer. Being branded is a life changer. And I told you about the Get Your Book Done workshop. I told you I love to hold it in Hawaii. Yeah, I do. However, the next one, June 5, 6, 7, is right here in Toronto. Wow. Wow. June 5, 6, 7, you can't swim at lunch, but at least it's not that far. June 5, 6, 7, and I do it in another part of the world every single month. And this is the best testimony of all. This is so shocking. This is a guy who hadn't finished his book, but he was at a conference, and he wanted to make some money. And he's a coach. So he took a photograph of the cover. He got a cover. And he wrapped it around a notebook, like just a notebook. Okay? He took a picture of his cover, wrapped it around, and wait till you see how much money he made. By the way, 50,000 British pounds is about 65,000 Canadian dollars. Watch this.
My name is Nick Bradley, and I'm the award-winning author of Zero to Authentic Hero. Raymond Aaron showed me how to write a book and create a brand for myself, and I spent a few £1,000s doing that. But I wanted to get a good return on my investment. So I wanted to make tens of thousands of pounds back on that time. I went to a conference, and I didn't even have a book. I hadn't even finished writing my book. So I printed the cover, and I wrapped it around my notebook, and I held it up, and I had one client who's paid me £50,000. And that's even before I had a book. So thank you, Raymond Aaron.
Wow. 70,000 Canadian dollars in 1 minute because he has a book. Wow, wow, wow. Strictly limited admission. I told you I can have 17 or 14. What did I say? 17 more people, and that's it. So you'll have to make sure that you don't stumble when you get there. I don't want people to crush over you. And you know it's $28,000, but you know I'm going to give you a gigantic discount. So are you ready? Yes. Are you ready? Okay, here it is. Here it is. When you've decided it's for you, when I show you what the tuition is, race to the back. Not only they can race to the back, you can also race to the back. You're actually closer to the back. Just that it's harder for you because you don't think you can do it or whatever issue you got. Okay, so here you are. Here you are. Are you ready? Here's the discount. There's 2 levels. I write the book for you. What is the tuition for that? The tuition is a 60% discount to only $11,500. It's not $500,000. It's $11,500. It's $11,500 US everywhere in the world except in my hometown. It's $11,500 Canadian. Yeah, so if you want that one, that's available to you. If you've decided you want that one, you can go to the back. And there's a payment plan, only 4 monthly installments of $32.50, also Canadian. It's a little more expensive, but if you can afford it with a payment plan. Now, here's the one that you're waiting for. You write the book yourself. Here it is. It's a 90% discount. 90% discount to only $2,800. 90% discount. Go to the back. Go to the back. Get in. Only 17 get in. Only $2,800 Canadian. It's 90% off, and there's a payment plan if you need it. Only 4 monthly installments of $787. Only 4 monthly installments of $787. That's a little more expensive, but if you need the payment plan, you've got it. $2,800 or only 4 installments of $787, and it's tax deductible against business income. So in Canada, because taxes are so high, that drops your investment by roughly 50%. And you get the whole Ultimate Author's Marketing Guide. That's $3,000, which is even more than the $2,800. It's as if you get the whole 10-10-10 for free. And there's the summary. If I write the book for you, it's $11,500 or 4 times $32.50. If you write it, it's $2,800 or only 4 times $787. Get your book done. What's missing in the solution is you. Winning isn't everything, but wanting to win is. I'm the only book writing teacher who makes sure you make money with your book. I'm the only book writing teacher who is himself a New York Times best-selling author. I'm the only book writing teacher who has written a Chicken Soup book and a For Dummies book. I'm the only one who gives you an official book launch. The only one who gives you 100% of your sales, not 6%. The only one who gives you a full-time coach to ensure your book gets done. The only one who will do the forward for you. The only one who will show you how to write a book in 10 hours. The only one who will show you how to hold your physical published book in your hand in only 10 weeks. That's the deal. It's the most amazing deal I have ever offered.